Did you come with me to the new building? Like, I remember
I
you
don't
ditched
remember
me.
you.
I would have to stalk my old photos.
So like I'm like MIA half the year.
Yeah, Kylie.
Welcome everyone to our podcast, first ever podcast. So we are the three newbies in the Buddy Committee 2020 and 2021. So in this podcast, we will be talking about our Dhamma journey and how we got started, and basically, yeah, just our stories. So yeah, we will start off by introducing ourselves. So we can start with Xuan Fei.
As she already said, my name's Xuan Fei. And I mean, not a lot of people can say my name, so like normally people just call me Fei. So, I'm 17 this year, and I've known Buddy since like almost when I could consciously think, like when I was like 3. So it's been a long it's been a long time, and I always wanted to join Buddy. So next person.
Yay! So my name is Kylie. I am 17 this year, same age as Xuan Fei. We both just joined BuddyCom, so we're very new to all of this. And basically, I'm like in out of like Bubs. Bubs is the Banda Utama Bodhi Vihara, and I also used to go for Dhamma school. So yeah, that's how I got started. Brief intro. So next, Rachel.
Yes. Hello, my name is Rachel, and I am 2 years older than Xuan Fei and Kylie, which makes me 19, officially 19. Woohoo. So I've known Buddy through their activities and events, and like Kylie and Xuan Fei, I used to go to Bubs also last time.
So let's explain our Dharma journey. So start with Xuan Fei. From the day you could remember when you were 3 years old.
Oh my god, it was
You can
so
start with the old
so
Bubs.
Bubs. Yeah, so Bubs as we know now, like Bharatama Buddhist Society, or like UBV, or Dhamma Bodhi Vihara, is like the building we know now is different from the building we used to go to. Basically like a house that, like, I don't remember, was it like rented or like bought. Yeah, but it was a house. I don't remember where, but like it was a house somewhere. They just held sessions there and stuff. And like I think the earliest memory was of me being in like Bob's, the old one at least, was just my mom was listening to a Buddhist talk, all right, like a talk given by a monk. And I, being like the restless little child that I am, was just walking in and out the hall. All right. I was like, oh, I walked out because I got bored, and I walked back in because I wanted to see my mom. And I just kept doing that. And my mom was like, what are you doing? Can you sit still?
Your
And
mom
I
was like, I
was
don't think
like, I
so.
can't. Like, I guess it was just like what they did in the old Bobs and the new Bobs was like kind of the same thing, right? Because the only reason why they had to move to the new building was because the place was getting too small, so they had to have a bigger place to accommodate all the people. So it's just the same thing, but like in different place, which was nice,
But
I
do you
guess.
remember any friends from the old building that came with you to the new building?
Did you come with me to the new building? Like, I remember
I
you
don't
ditched
remember you
me.
in
I
the
was
old
like,
building.
SMH.
I don't remember anyone from the old building. Except for one person, which is my classmate now. But yeah.
Really? Wait, Rachel, were you in the old building?
No, actually, I didn't know Bubs was actually quite old also. So when I found out there's an old building, I was actually quite shocked. Yeah, so it's
Oh.
interesting to hear
Then
from.
how old do you join Sunday school?
Oh wow. Uh, I can't remember, but I think uh when I was like 6 or 7 years old.
Oh.
Yeah, like
That means you
Six or
were
seven.
like
We were like
4?
4, yeah.
Isn't
yeah.
that during old Bubs?
No,
Eh?
when
Maybe
oh
that was when
I don't
they just move?
I think when they just moved, cause like I actually don't remember when we moved from the old building to the new building.
I mean,
Oh my god.
for me, when I moved to like the new box, I kind of like freaked out because there were so many other people, and then I was like, oh, because last time the class was only like what 5, 6 people, and then like new box is like a whole big building that's like what 4 floors. And I was like, whoa, four? Yeah, 4 floors.
Wow.
I think, but yeah, and then even the stuff we learned were different already. It was like we were learning stories instead of just coloring the books. I mean, we did some arts and craft lah. What about Rachel? Were you like part of that as well?
Yes, definitely.
So what do you remember from Bucks, like the
Oh,
classes?
the classes. Oh my God. Um, actually, how I got into Bubs at first was because like Xuan Fei's mom, I used to
Ooh.
follow my mom
Fei is like,
to Buddhist talks also, and I had no idea. And then my mom just
oh,
signed me and my sister up for the classes. I'm just like, what? I'm just like, because I didn't really have any interest in a lot of things, and Bob's was one of them. So I was just like, so my mom's just like, okay, here you go, you know. But yeah, so I think in a lot of the classes, I didn't really pay much attention. I'm quite guilty here. So like all the way up to TQ2, like I can't, other than like the basic triple gem, four noble truths, the A4 part, and other stuff. Yeah, there's not much I can remember, lah. But I did have fun few times. Yes. And then
for
yeah.
me it's like I also don't remember much, but then like I still remember just reading the storybooks because the storybooks were interesting.
Yes, I have a few of them. I bought a few of them.
Oh my
Really?
god, you
Oh,
bought them?
Yes, because they
Wait, I
was
thought
they were
yeah,
good.
cause they
I used to read them
oh
during dinner time or eating.
oh my god, my mom would scold me. She's like, when you eat, you must eat, you know. All right, so but I think like most of the classes, like I tried to pay attention, but they were mostly still stories, right? The books they gave us, right, was
yeah,
like
yeah. There
not
were like
gave
what
us like
three
they lent
volumes
us,
of like
yeah.
different stories.
They're just like different stories, yeah. So I think it's cool in a sense, like they like you read it, you don't get them when you were a kid, but then when you grow up, you remember the stories, so you can still
Yeah,
learn
I
from
actually do
those
remember
stories.
like a few stories, and I'm like, then I like this conversation with my friend, and then they were like, "Oh, you know the story?" I was like, "Yeah, I remembered it as a kid." But like, what I remember most about the classes were the year-end parties because it's always on Sunday morning, right? So I always like I can't wake up early, so I don't go. So like I'm like MIA half the year, and then you see this kid at the end of the year confirm show up.
Yeah,
It's the
this
end.
yeah, Kylie, cause we same year, right? So like
Yeah, you were
Bobs
in the
they
same
don't
class as me,
yeah,
what?
same
So
year,
you're
so
like,
like yeah, you guys put in the same class, right?
Yeah.
So like I'm the one who goes almost every week, right? Because my mom's there, like everyone's there, my mom, my siblings, right? And then like I don't want to be left alone at home, right? Especially when you're a kid, you're like, oh no, alone at home, scary kind of thing, right?
yeah.
So like I go there like every week, and then I like sometimes I'll like see her, right? Like for like what one week a month, and that's like the most that I've ever seen her or something. Right? She'll like not come, and then she'll definitely come for the year end celebration. Like yes, the food, like the year end celebration and like the week before it, because we'll like plan whatever we'll bring on
Yeah,
for the
who's
year
bringing what,
end
right?
celebration. Yeah, then she'll always come during the celebration and the week before,
And then people be
right?
like,
And
who
then
is
we're
this
like,
girl? Like, never
you
see
know,
you before.
yeah, some people who join late, like join, because you can join late after like so you join in the start of the year and you can join in the middle of the year. Alright, and like people who join in the middle of the year has never seen this girl before, and they're like, what? Don't
Oh,
remember
Rachel, do
that.
you remember anyone from Sunday school? Like, do you still keep in touch with them? Or
I used
Faye
to
is literally the
have
only person I still talk to.
Uh, well, at least she's here now. I knew quite a few people back then, but we don't keep in touch. I
Mm.
had one friend from primary school who joined me for like um I think during TQ one and two, but we never stay in contact after that, like after I left. Yeah. And then but I had another friend who I remember meeting way back then. And then yeah, we don't really talk much to each other. But then when it came after I left and when I started high school, she was in the same class with me. And I was just like, wait,
Oh,
are you?
that's what happened to me as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Then
So
then
it's funny because I mean it was pretty cool because yeah, after uh we kind of recognized each other, we both became very good friends up to now. Yeah.
I guess for most of us, it's like we have close friends in pubs, but we don't really like keep in touch. Because last time we had no phones, so like how are we supposed to keep in touch? And then you just meet them somewhere and just like I don't know that person, and it's a bit awkward because like it's been what 10 years, 9 years since we last met them. For me lah, I met my classmate when I was from one. Then I waved to her because like she was one of my friends from like old Babs also. And then she looked at me like I found out later that she didn't recognize me. Then I was like just waving at her. I was like and then she looked at me like but
Oh
yeah.
my God.
So let's move on. What do you guys learn from uh all those years in Sunday school and like your Dhamma training? And how do you apply it to everyday life? Like right now. Do you guys
I
learn
think
anything?
most of the things I've learned so far, I still like. I feel like the ones I like apply to my daily life is mostly like from camps because like
Mm.
remember when I said like oh you're a kid and stuff like that and you don't like exactly remember much. I'm sure it did like teach me, like maybe subconsciously it did teach me some stuff, like the stories and stuff, like or like the small things like oh maybe be kind and stuff like that. But like but mostly I think the things I've learned are from like camp.
What I learned from Bob's was the one that really impacted me was to recognize the four kinds of suffering. I remember that very clearly. And for some reason as a kid, you don't have like an open mind towards people who are suffering and like stuff like that. So like, I guess I really learned a lot. That's one of the things that I remember most about what they taught in Sunday school. And then the rest is like the five precepts. It actually hit me. I'm like, oh, no lying, no killing, no what. So I'm like, as a kid lah, usually moral you don't really listen to, right? When it's like five precepts, they have like stories to back up whatever they're teaching, and it's just like, ah, yeah, it taught me some stuff in a way. And one more thing that really made me like realize is the middle path, the one that Buddha said the middle path is the right path. So it's like moderation, apply moderation in whatever you do on a daily basis, right? So yeah, that really applied to me when I was like what 11, 12. I slowly started recognizing that many things in your daily life, in a way, is best if you apply moderation. I don't know why, but like yeah, it pops up in my head time to time, and we're like, oh yes, middle path, moderation. Yeah, yeah. That's why I learned from like Sunday school, three things. What about Rachel?
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that I learned and applied back then is pretty similar to your experience, but it's a bit different for me because back then whenever I went to Bubs, yeah, for classes. So um because back then when I was a child, um my mindset was more like, oh okay, I just want to have fun. I don't, I'm not
Yeah, true,
like
true.
I just don't want to go through like what 2 hours of classes and hear the person talk, that kind of thing. But looking back at it, I guess the most memorable things that stood out to me until today also was the 5 precepts like you said, and also the meditation. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what about camp? You went to like previous camps, right? Before Faye and I were even like the age to go.
Yeah, you went around 2015, right? Like
Yes.
for camp.
Yes.
How was 2015's camp about?
Like the theme. I
Yeah. Do you
can't
remember?
remember. I would have to stalk my old photos, or I have to dig through the closet for my shirt to see the stuff. Yes.
For me, like what I learned from camp was literally the theme of each year. So like, you know, 2016 master of my mind. It's like, oh, mindfulness. What was the most memorable about the 2016 camp was, do you remember we had like this one dinner that no one spoke a single word, and everyone was like,
Oh yeah, mindfulness dinner.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was like, whoa, like it's the first time my brain was that concentrated. It was like
Yeah,
my brain was like super focused on my food, and because they told us to be mindful of your food, be mindful of each sensation when you're eating, and think of every single process your food went through before it reached your plate. And I was like, my brain was like so focused. Well, it hit me damn hard. So I take away a lot from each camp. I actually think through for like the theme. Because like 2017 was breaking free, right? So breaking free of attachments and all that. And like, and what about you, Faye? Like, how does it affect you?
I think it's like I love how you have like different moments that like you like completely remember, right?
Like
Because
there's those key
mine is
moments
just
in
like
like the thing that like, oh yours is the general that comes
yeah,
together.
mine is just like washed together
Uh,
or kind of, right? So it's just like we went to like what 4 camps already, right? We were supposed to go to like our last one this year.
yeah,
Right?
80
Yeah,
seconds.
so she talked about 2016, 2017. 2018, if I'm not wrong, is oh my god, I do not remember. Oh yeah, I think if I'm not wrong, it's like kata where it's like gratefulness, right? So it means gratefulness. So it was like to teach us to be like grateful, basically. Yeah, which is like they like each day, like they teach us how to be grateful of like different things and stuff, which is pretty cool. Uh, then I think the
Wait,
one I remember.
just to
Mm-hmm.
add on, I remember in 2018 camp, there was one activity, I think. They made us like uh blind, and then they made us
Oh my god.
handicapped, like they stimulated those, and then they were trying to like you know, like how to be grateful for what you're given. So we were like blind for a day, or we were like handicapped so we can't use our hands, and they were like station games stuff basically. So it's like they stimulate how it feels like to have one of your senses taken away from you. And then that was like, it just hit me. I was like, oh my god, this is so hard. And how do people do this on a daily basis? That's why it hit me. I'm like, I've been taking what I have for granted. So it's like, yeah. And then every camp there's like something that hits me hard, and I'm just like, oh, Rachel, do you remember like any specific activities from camp?
Oh, there were quite a few. I remember we had sing along night or something, and then there was another one where we
Him
had
singing.
yes, and then I really liked that one. Yeah. And then there was another one which is Deva Manusa. I'm pretty sure you guys are very familiar with that.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
year is
I
yeah.
think that was like the most memorable thing. And I remember they also organized another activity where it involved it resulted in a water balloon fight afterwards. Yes. What else?
Water.
Nice.
I love water activities. Even though I
Yes.
think as a committee, I feel like it's gonna be such a pain to set up. That's why you only have like one water activity per camp.
Yes, at the roof. I still remember. It's fun though. And then in the end, they wet everybody. Let's move on from camp. We shall talk about now. So what are we doing now? What about like right this moment? How is your Dhamma side of life?
Mm, then like we're all like I feel like like these like the common things are like we're all like the committees like the three most like noob committee in Buddy right now. So like uh I guess that's like the like what we're doing sorta, right? So we're like
Mm,
planning activities and stuff. Uh for me, I think like Buddhism for now is like I don't get to do a lot now because last time I used to can go to like other societies or like physically go to their place to
What do you mean you don't get to
do
do a lot?
puja,
As in physical
like
activities?
physically like no as in like physically go listen to like some Buddhist talks or
Mm,
stuff because and then I'm not sure if they did do any that like online talks, right? But like I guess I still do some like still kind of interact with Buddhism
mm,
now, especially but like since now we're like lockdown it's a bit more hard and stuff.
true. True.
So I'm not completely disconnected from it, but like it has like slowed down a lot because I used to go maybe like every other week and or like every week to like another like a society to listen to someone talk, do puja and stuff. So now not so because I'm like stuck at home.
Okay, I see. How about Rachel?
Uh, it's very like, cause I definitely feel like among all of us in the group, I feel like, uh, how do I put it? The least knowledgeable one personally, because after I stopped Bubs a few years back, I completely forgot about a lot of things. Yeah. So
Same.
it's
I
so
admit.
yeah, yeah. So currently it's a bit, I feel like it's a bit hard for me to get back into like the Dharma and what I used to learn, uh, especially in Sutta studies. Yeah, a lot of the things that um, the
I've
others were
yet to
talking
join.
about. Yeah, it's okay. But yeah, a lot of the things that they were talk other people were talking about, it's yeah, it was a bit much for me lah, personally. So
Okay, slowly, sure can.
yes, one at a time.
I guess for me, I also relate somehow in a way because last time I used to be like quite involved. I understand a lot of stuff to say, but nowadays, like since secondary school until now, it's like I haven't been that into Dharma and like applying it in my daily life. So I feel like now that I'm joining Buddy Committee, I still have a lot to relearn and more new things to learn. So for me, it's like I feel like this is a starting point for me to know more or like relearn what I learned as a kid, but like in deeper sense. So like now MCO, right, is like in the middle of SPM, so I don't really know how I'm gonna juggle these two things. So I guess for me, I'm trying to sort out my studies first. So if I have extra time, I can join Sutta study, which I'm trying to. But yeah, other than that, um, like I said, there's a lot of new things to learn. So I'm still uh very humble about what I know because I really don't know a lot of things. Compared to Faye, I think you probably know more than me. But yeah. Yeah, so um how I apply it is basically like you know how you know how like sometimes you feel really negative for no reason, right? So I'll just sit down and I'll do like a simple meditation to calm my thoughts, collect my thoughts and everything. So like, yeah, that's how for now like the basic Dhamma that I apply to my daily. Other than that, it's not there yet. I feel like my level is not there yet. Yeah. So that's okay. So moving on. How did Buddhism impact your life? Are there any instances where uh you apply your Buddhist knowledge to overcome your problems?
I think the most notable one for me is like it's actually one of the videos you can still watch online. It's, if I'm not wrong, by Ajahn Brahm, yeah. Yeah. So it's, he talks about, basically one of his points was like, sometimes, most of the time thinking is harder than doing, right? And then the instances is like saying, oh, like let's say I tell, like my mom told me to do like a chore, right? Like let's say like all clean up the house, like to vacuum the whole house, right? And then actually, like if you think about it objectively, it won't take too long, right? The maximum it will take at least like 30 minutes or something, or like even
True.
an hour ish, right? But then I'll sit there and I'll be like, oh, why me, right? Why you tell me to clean the
Yeah,
house,
I
you know?
mean,
Why? It's gonna be so loud, it's gonna be so annoying. Oh, I have to go get the vacuum cleaner, come upstairs and then like start vacuuming the whole place. Yeah, so like you think like the amount, like it's harder for you to like, the task in your head is harder than when you actually just do it.
so true.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the things I've learned, which helped me a lot, which is like, oh, sometimes you just have to, like, you just don't think about it, just start doing it, right? So it's like, oh, most of the time now I don't like even, I used to complain a lot when my mom tells me to do any chores, but now I'm just like, it's gonna take like 15 minutes, like 15-30 minutes, I'll just do it and then get it over with. And then it's like, oh, my life is 10 times easier now. Just do it, you
True,
know?
true. I've never thought of that actually. I think that will help me. Now I'm learning new things as well. How about Rachel? Any like events that made you, you know, change the way you do things?
Tough question. I never really thought much about it actually, but I don't think so. Maybe if there's one thing about Buddhism that really impacted the way I think and the way I act is probably like the five precepts. Yeah, because of it, I learn how to refrain myself from saying a lot of nasty things and focus more on other stuff, which can be beneficial not only to myself but to the other people around me.
I guess for me, there are like many things that impacted me. I guess the most impactful one is, like I said just now, is middle path moderation. So I apply it in almost everything I do. Because you can just take anything. For example, I apply moderation to it. Like you asked me about my studies. I don't study every day. I don't, but I study enough so that I myself am satisfied. Or you ask about food. I like food. I love eating, but I know I shouldn't eat too much. And it's like that's how I think of it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We have covered almost everything we need to talk about today. Yay.
Yeah, our journey. But like, it's like our journey so far, right? So
Yeah. So far,
it's not
we
like
have
it's
a lot.
over and
We
stuff,
have a
right?
long way to go. Like I can imagine, like like all those auntie uncle still got how
Auntie
many years
uncle.
to go. A lot more to learn. And then like a few years later, we'll look back at this podcast and like, can't
Oh
believe
my
I did
god.
that. uh, I'm gonna be like so embarrassed by myself, but okay.
I'm already embarrassed. What are you
That's the first
talking
time for
about?
everything.
Yeah, so like the ones who's like, who might be listening, like, yeah, thanks for listening until this point. And since our journey so far. It's our journey so far, right? So like we have so much more and like a long ways to go and still much more to learn, right? You guys can join us in learning too.
Join the
Goodbye.
Buddy Discord server. We do a lot of fun things every Friday night. Shameless promo.
Shameless
Yeah, if
promo,
you
you
want to
know.
join our Discord server, it's in the link in our bio. So thanks for watching to this point and stay tuned for more activities in the future.
Okay.
Okay, ciao.
Bye bye.
Oh wow,
Okay,
okay,
cut.
bye.